Here is Michael Schmidt's Berlin nach 45, Berlin after 1945. Comes in this slipcase here. There's been a bit of a hex on me, I suppose, presenting this book, because first I couldn't remember the first name of the photographer, and then when I did the first recording, the battery of my flip camera ran out. So this is all very interesting. Who knows what this means? Probably nothing, but you know, that means something. Anyway, this book is still available. It's a Steidl book, and you can order it if you want, or you can buy it at your favorite bookshop, provided you live anywhere where there is a bookshop. It's a different story, unfortunately, but you can order it online, so this means that you can get this book. This is photography taken in Berlin, of course, as the title says. And this is the Berlin before the wall came down. I believe these photographs were taken in the very early 1980s with a large format camera. And if you look carefully, you will notice something. I don't know whether I should give that away right away or whether I should just let you look carefully. So basically what Schmidt did is he walked around with this camera and took these photographs. If you had the chance to go to Berlin before the wall came down, then you will remember that it really looked like this in large parts of West Berlin. You can kind of tell the age of the photographs by, I suppose, the car models. I'm not really good at knowing cars, but you know, it looks kind of like that time. Now you probably already, if you have a good memory or remember something, because you've seen that building before. You've also seen that building, except that you saw the view from that side. So essentially what's going on here is that we're seeing a lot of the same places multiple times from different directions. This is not all of Berlin. This is actually just part of Berlin. I think this is in Kreuzberg, which is a neighborhood in Berlin. Kreuzberg itself, I'm not a Berlin expert, but if I remember what the text said in the book, Kreuzberg itself consists of kind of two parts. There's a grittier part and a slightly nicer part. The Kreuzberg still is a very interesting area in Berlin. I don't know how easily you can see this, but the book is printed very well. You'll remember that building there. It's really a very interesting way to depict the place and to work on this. You know, I could, or maybe somebody else could, or you know, you could do the exercise and make connections of this photography with other photographers working at that time or around that time, maybe plus or minus 10 years, either in Germany or in the US. That might or might not be an interesting exercise. But I think it's fairly obvious that this is a very interesting book by a very interesting German photographer. Schmidt is, of course, from Berlin. He invited a lot of foreigners to come to Berlin when the wall was still up. John Gorsuch came. I think he invited Eggleston. He's not, Schmidt is not affiliated with any of the Düsseldorf people, as far as I know at least. So there is more to German photography than just the Düsseldorf folks. I guess you can guess the age of the photographs from the billboards. It's pretty interesting when you go to Berlin. The one thing I noticed when I went there, remember this? You saw a similar photograph earlier. Maybe I should just go back and find it and show you what's going on here. You go to Berlin, you realize, remember that's that building here. See how this is working here. And then there was, I don't know whether you can see this really well in the video. Okay, so look at this, and then you look at that. When I was in Berlin, I noticed that I was kind of, I mean not really, but I was seeing things with the Michael Schmidt eye a little bit. So he has a very distinct way of looking and seeing, and it's interesting to go to Berlin and find those spots and places, and even just to realize how he's seeing and how he's taking photographs. A lot of this has changed now. Berlin is the capital of Germany now. The wall, of course, is gone. There's a little bit left somewhere for the tourists. A lot of the empty space is now valuable real estate, with new buildings and all this kind of stuff. There's gentrification going on in various parts of Berlin, which not everybody's happy about. As I said, Kreuzberg is an interesting area. There's a lot of resistance in Kreuzberg to gentrification, but that's all a different issue. So this is a view of Berlin from the early 1980s, before all that became an issue, by Michael Schmidt. That is the last picture. Okay, so this is Berlin nach 45 by Michael Schmidt. You can still get it online, or ideally, of course, at your favorite bookshop.